Hey everyone, let's have a real heart-to-heart today, okay? I want to talk about something that's incredibly relevant to each and every one of us. Something that can literally change the entire trajectory of our lives. It's not about magic formulas or secret techniques. It's about something much more fundamental. It's about having the courage to begin, think about it. Every single achievement, every single success story, every moment of triumph that you've ever witnessed or even experienced yourself started with a single, often shaky step. It's that first bold move, that initial decision to go for it, to put yourself out there that truly sets everything else in motion. It's about understanding that winning in life, however you define that term, whether it's achieving a personal goal, building a successful career, nurturing meaningful relationships, or simply finding inner peace, always starts with the courage to begin. And I'm not just talking about the big, grand, life-altering changes, although those certainly apply. I'm also talking about the smaller, everyday beginnings. Choosing to get out of bed early to pursue a passion project, deciding to forgive someone who has hurt you, resolving to make healthier choices, or simply starting a conversation with someone new. Every single one of these choices requires a little bit of courage, a little bit of a push to overcome inertia and embrace the unknown. Now, we all have dreams, right? I mean, if you're honest with yourself, I bet there's something simmering inside you, something you secretly yearn to achieve, something that makes your heart beat a little faster when you think about it. It could be anything: starting your own business, learning a new skill, traveling the world, writing a book, becoming a better parent, contributing to a cause you care about, or simply living a more authentic and fulfilling life. But here's the thing, so often those dreams reign just that. Dreams. They stay locked away in the recesses of our minds, tantalizing us with the promise of what could be, but never quite materializing into reality. And the reason, more often than not, is because there's this wall, this invisible barrier standing in our way, a formidable obstacle that seems insurmountable and keeps us chained to our comfort zones. I quote, am talking about the wall of fear. Now, fear is a complex emotion. It's natural, it's instinctive, and in many cases, it's even beneficial. Fear can protect us from danger, it can help us avoid making reckless decisions, and it can keep us safe in potentially harmful situations. But fear can also be incredibly crippling, particularly when it comes to pursuing our dreams. This fear takes on many different forms, each with its own unique power to hold us back. There's the fear of failing, which is perhaps the most common of all. It's that nagging voice in the back of our minds that whispers doubts and anxieties, reminding us of all the things that could go wrong, all the ways we might fall short, all the potential for humiliation and disappointment. Then there's the fear of what other people will think. This fear can be particularly potent, especially in a society that places so much emphasis on external validation and approval. We worry about being judged, criticized, or ridiculed, and we let that fear dictate our choices, preventing us from pursuing our passions and expressing our true selves. There are quotes also the fear of the unknown, the inherent human aversion to uncertainty and unpredictability. Stepping outside our comfort zone can be scary because we don't know what to expect. We don't know what challenges we might face, and we don't know whether we'll be able to handle whatever comes our way. And finally, there's the fear of change itself. Even we know that something in our lives needs to change, even when we're deeply unhappy with the status quo, we can still resist change because it disrupts our routines, challenges our beliefs, and forces us to adapt to new circumstances. These fears, both individually and collectively, can create a formidable barrier, a seemingly insurmountable wall that keeps us trapped in our comfort zones, preventing us from taking the necessary steps to pursue our dreams. Think about it. Consider the person who dreams of becoming a doctor, who feels a deep calling to heal and serve others, but is too afraid to apply to medical school because they're worried about the demanding workload, the intense competition, or the potential for failure. They might tell themselves that they're not smart enough, that they don't have the necessary qualifications, or that they simply wouldn't be able to handle the stress. And so they abandon their dreams, settling for a less fulfilling career path, and forever wondering what might have been. Or think about the writer, the storyteller, the poet, who has a wealth of ideas and experiences swirling around inside them, but is too afraid to share their work with the world. They might worry about being judged, criticized, or rejected, or they might fear that their writing isn't good enough, that no one would be interested in what they have to say. And so they keep their stories locked away in notebooks and hard drives, never allowing them to see the light of day. And what about the entrepreneur, the innovator, the visionary who has a brilliant idea for a new product or service, but is too afraid to take the risk of starting their own business? They might worry about losing their savings, failing to attract investors, or being unable to compete with established companies. And so they stick to the security of their 9-to-5 job, never realizing their full potential and never bringing their innovative ideas to the world. These are just a few examples, of course, but they illustrate the power of fear to paralyze us, to prevent us from taking action, and to keep us from living the lives we were meant to live. These dreams stay just that, dreams, because of fear. And the tragedy is that so much potential goes unrealized, so much talent remains untapped, and so many lives are lived far below their full capacity. But what if we could change that? What if we could find a way to break through that wall of fear, to overcome those limiting beliefs, and to unleash our full potential? What if we could redefine courage, not as the absence of fear, but as something much more profound and empowering? That's what I want to talk about today. I want to explore how we can redefine courage, not as the absence of fear, but as the willingness to move forward despite that fear. It's not about magically eliminating all the anxieties and doubts that plague our minds. It's about acknowledging them, understanding them, and then choosing to act anyway. It's about recognizing that fear is a natural part of the human experience, but that it doesn't have to control our lives. It quotes about choosing to believe in yourself, even when you're not sure how things will turn out, even when you're facing uncertainty and adversity. It's about trusting your instincts, following your passions, and pursuing your goals with unwavering determination, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's about embracing the unknown, stepping outside your comfort zone, and taking calculated risks, knowing that even if you fail, you'll learn valuable lessons and grow as a person. And here's the secret, the key that unlocks everything. The amazing thing is, the simple act of beginning holds so much power. It's like a domino effect, where one small action triggers a chain reaction that leads to bigger results. That first step, that initial commitment, creates momentum. It's like pushing a heavy boulder. It takes a lot of effort to get it moving, but once it starts rolling, it becomes much easier to keep it going. The same is true with pursuing our dreams. That first step can be the hardest, but once you take it, you'll find that it becomes easier and easier to keep moving forward. Beginning also builds confidence. With each small victory, with each milestone achieved, your self-belief grows stronger. You start to realize that you're capable of more than you thought, that you have the skills and resources to overcome challenges, and that you're making progress toward your goals. This increased confidence then fuels further action, creating a positive feedback loop. It opens you up to learning. When you start something new, you inevitably encounter challenges and setbacks. But these challenges provide valuable learning opportunities. You discover what works and what doesn't. You identify your strengths and weaknesses, and you gain new insights and perspectives. This learning process is essential for growth and improvement, and it helps you become more resilient and adaptable. Believe it or not, it inspires others around you. When you pursue your dreams with courage and determination, you become a role model for others. You show them that it's possible to overcome fear and achieve their own goals. Your actions inspire them to take their own first steps, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Think about the person who was terrified of public speaking but joined a small group and slowly found their voice. Maybe they had a terrible experience in the past, a humiliating presentation that left them traumatized. But instead of letting that experience define them, they chose to confront their fear. They joined a Toastmasters club or a similar group and started practicing their speaking skills in a safe and supportive environment. They stumbled, they stuttered, they forgot their lines, but they kept showing up week after week. And gradually, their fear began to subside. Their confidence grew, their skills improved, and they eventually became comfortable speaking in front of larger and larger audiences. Their story is a powerful testament to the transformative power of courage and perseverance. Or think about the person who dreaded exercise, but started with just a few minutes a day and transformed their health. Maybe they were overweight, out of shape, and plagued by chronic health problems. They knew they needed to make a change, but the thought of going to the gym or embarking on a rigorous workout routine filled them with dread. So they started small. They committed to walking for just 10 minutes a day or doing a few simple stretches. Gradually, they increased the duration and intensity of their workouts. They started eating healthier foods, cutting out processed sugars and junk food. Slowly but surely, their body began to transform. They lost weight, gained muscle, and improved their overall health and well-being. Their story is a reminder that even the smallest steps can lead to significant long-term results. What about the person who couldn't cook but learned from YouTube and now creates amazing meals? Maybe they grew up eating takeout and processed foods, never learning the basics of cooking. The thought of preparing a meal from scratch seemed daunting and intimidating, but they decided to challenge themselves. They started by watching cooking videos on YouTube, learning basic techniques, and following simple recipes. They made mistakes, they burned things, they forgot ingredients, but they kept practicing and gradually their skills improved. They learned to chop vegetables, saw, tie onions, and bake cookies. They started experimenting with different flavors and cuisines. And before they knew it, they were creating delicious and nutritious meals for themselves and their loved ones. Their story is an inspiration to anyone who thinks they're not capable of learning a new skill. These are just a few examples, of course, but they illustrate the transformative power of courage, perseverance, and the simple act of beginning. When you take that first step, you set in motion a chain of events that can lead to remarkable results. How do we actually do it? How do we break through that fear and get going? How do we cultivate the courage to begin? Well, first and foremost, take some time to really understand your dreams. What do you truly want? What are you passionate about? What makes you feel alive? What kind of life do you envision for yourself? Write it down, get clear on your vision. The more clarity you have, the easier it will be to stay motivated and focused on your goals. Then, instead of running from your fears, face them. Understand what's holding you back. What are you afraid of? What are the specific concerns that are preventing you from taking action? Write them down, acknowledge them, don't try to suppress them or pretend they don't exist. The more you understand your fears, the better equipped you'll be to overcome them. Next, break down those big scary goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Don't try to do everything at once. Focus on taking just one small step at a time. This will make the overall goals seem less daunting and more achievable. Create a simple plan, just a basic roadmap to guide you. You don't need a detailed, complex plan, just a rough outline of the steps you need to take to get from where you are to where you want to be. And then take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Just start. Take that first step, no matter how small it may seem. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll begin to build momentum and see results. Remember that mistakes are okay. They're part of the process. Don't beat yourself up when you make a mistake. Instead, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Analyze what went wrong. Identify what you can do differently next time, and keep moving forward. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who support your dreams and encourage you to believe in yourself. Avoid negative people who drain your energy and undermine your confidence. Believe in yourself even when things get tough. There will be times when you doubt yourself, when you feel like giving up. But in those moments, remember why you started. Remember your dreams, remember your goals, and remind yourself that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Lean on your friends, family, mentors, anyone who can offer support and encouragement. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It shows that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. Most importantly, never give up. There will be challenges, setbacks, moments when you want to quit. But remember that success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's about the process of learning, growing, and becoming the best version of yourself. So keep going, keep learning, keep believing, and never lose sight of your dreams. And celebrate every success, no matter how small. Acknowledge your progress and give yourself credit for how far you've come. Rewarding yourself for your achievements will help stay motivated and focused on your goals. Look at the stories of people who defied the odds. Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, Colonel Sanders. These individuals are not just names in history books. They are real people who faced immense challenges but refused to surrender their dreams. Thomas Edison, for example, failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb, but he didn't let those failures discourage him. He viewed them as learning opportunities, and he kept experimenting until he finally succeeded. His story is a powerful reminder that perseverance pays off. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, faced numerous setbacks and defeats throughout his life. He lost elections, suffered financial hardship, and endured personal tragedies, but he never lost sight of his principles, and he eventually rose to become one of the greatest leaders in American history. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was famously fired from the very company he helped create. But he didn't let that experience define him. He went on to found two other successful companies, Pixar and Nixty, before eventually returning to Apple and transforming it into the global powerhouse it is today. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, was rejected by numerous publishers before finding success with her first book. She was a single mother living in poverty, but she refused to give up on her dream of becoming a writer. Her persistence paid off, and the Harry Potter series went on to become one of the best-selling book series of all time. Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC, started his chicken business at the age of 62 after facing numerous setbacks and rejections. He had a simple recipe for fried chicken, and he believed in his product. He persevered through adversity and built a global fast food empire. These are just a few examples of people who dared to dream big, who overcame obstacles, and who achieved remarkable success. Their stories inspire us to believe in ourselves, to pursue our passions, and to never give up on our goals. And you know what? You have that same strength within you. The power to achieve your dreams is already there. It's not something you have to go out and find. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Fearless Motivation.